Howdy, welcome. Um, this is going to be a little bit weird for me and potentially for you, depending on what you might be used to for typical classroom communication. Uh, First of all, I want to start by saying this video is not going to be too long, and we're going to have quite a bit of it. I'm going to put quite a bit of information in here just to make sure that you guys as parents and families are up to date with all the things that we need to know for this class. So first off, a bit about me. My name is Mr. James. I am from South Dakota, actually. My wife and I just recently moved here back in May. And I had just graduated from Dakota State University, which is a university heavily leaned towards technology, which is why you might see some of the tools that we use in this class might be new or different than stuff that you've seen before. I have a dog named Coda that your kids might end up mentioning. I talk about him a lot, and my family is really important to me. When we're not at school, we're typically riding bikes or hiking, or just enjoying a good Marvel movie. You never know. So that's just a bit about me. One really important thing for a classroom and for the success of a classroom is ensuring that you as families can contact me and get a hold of me. Feel free to email me. My email will be linked in the description of this video. So you can find it there, or you can find it on the website for hawthorneacademy.org. So one other really kind of special thing about this classroom that I am really passionate about is flexible seating. So unlike traditional seating where students come in and they find where I assigned them a spot to, and then from there they move around once a quarter or whatever rate that happens at. In here, every single week the students get the choice to choose where they want to sit. Now, this kind of can seem to cause issues. However, in my experience, I've seen it to be extremely beneficial. So as students come in, a lot of times the first couple weeks they choose to sit right by their best friends, and they end up chatting a bit, which is fine. It's been a long summer. We haven't seen each other in a while. But eventually I've noticed the students really take their own learning into their own hands, and really think about where they want to sit and what spot's going to be best for them in their learning. We have a math program this year called Everyday Math. We did use it last year, so if you were with Hawthorne Academy last year, you might be familiar with this math program. In the classroom, it looks very similar to last year. However, I generally have the students get work done in class. This kind of leads into homework. Generally, I do not assign or require homework to be done at home. I really do try my best to have there be enough time in class to get things done. This sometimes does mean that students might have some stuff that they have to finish later, and in terms of later, that generally means at home. And so your students may every once in a while come home with something to do. However, they will be aware of it, and it probably won't happen very often, as it's my job and goal to really make sure that I give them enough time in class to finish. And if there's enough students not finishing, I need to figure out where to put more time in. Next is our reading program. We've started a new reading program this year called Into Reading. And we are working on figuring out the best way to get that to work really, really well. It's super good. The students all have their own books that they use that they can fill out within there. It also has a really powerful online portion of it. So there's always a possibility that we could end up doing things more typing, as well as more traditional response style. Lastly, a little bit about grading and this school year's grading procedures. So in the last year, or in the last couple months, I guess, we've kind of started to consider what kind of grading and what things we want to grade. So overall, your students are going to be graded on two things: formative assessments and summative assessments. You will have access to their grades. However, you're going to notice that they look a little different. So here at Hawthorne Academy, we're following standards-based grading. We're grading based on how the students can do whatever task it is that we're asking them to do. So it kind of looks a little different. It's typically given as a 1, 2, 3, or 4. 4 being exceeds expectations, so goes beyond whatever we ask them to do and extends upon what they know. Whereas a 3 is they can do everything that we've asked, and that sometimes can be really hard for families to understand that a 3 is not a 75%. A 3 is not a 66%. It's not any percentage. It's not equated to a percentage. However, it's just a demonstration that they can do everything we've asked. A 2 is they are working on it and moving towards it. And a 1 is we haven't really seen a lot of progress, and we're going to keep working at trying to achieve that goal. The only other possible grade that they might receive would be an NE, which is that we didn't really evaluate it. It was not evaluated. So just so you're up to date and understand that that's what we're doing for grading, and you'll actually see that on the Google Doc with your child's grades on them. Other than that, that is a majority of the things that are really important to this class. Today and over the last week, I've gotten to know these students, and I'm sure they've come home and told you that they're having fun, at least I hope. And I'm really excited to teach this year. This will be my first year teaching. However, I'm not new to working with students. I ran a daycare. I was the director of a daycare program back in South Dakota that I ran for 5 years. So I'm not new to students, but I am new to the classroom, and I'm really excited to push this forward and really try to make this year an amazing year, and I'm excited for that. So anyway, that is all. These videos will probably be released weekly or bi-weekly as just kind of updates as to what's going on in the classroom, what we're working on, and where we're going. So look forward to one possibly on Friday for what we're going to be doing over the coming weeks. Thank you. It was nice to meet you guys.